It's me, Shardio. I'm back with day 21 of the Best Start Guide, and boy, have I got a treat for you and for me. Maybe you noticed it already, but here at the Summon Portal, I've got a nice shiny two Sacred Shards, and I've also got a Void Shard. I got these the long way, basically by going into campaign and very painstakingly working my way through soloing with Kale. Basically, I completed brutal, I completed hard, I completed normal. And once he's 6-starred, turns out it's actually pretty easy. Stop creaking microphone, please, and thank you. Um, so now I'm on to Nightmare, and it's still going pretty well. Kale hasn't failed yet. I'm gonna put him on and he's gonna solo while I go to my notes here. So this is where we're at for day 21. Um, it's not day 21 on these two accounts, come to think of it. But basically, we're coming right down to the wire here. I've got 85 of the fragments that I need on my main account. I mean, I call this BTPD. I could just call it main. But I like to think of the clans that it's in. So there's the BTPD Oversoul, there's the BTPJ Oversoul, and then, of course, there's Mini Gavin, which is the account we're on now. So at some point today, because this expires today, so this is crucial. We got to do this today. These 20 fragments are going to get us to 85, and then we'll just have to pick up the other 15 over the course of the next few days. But today, we've got to do this. It's do or die. So that's why I'm glad I managed to pick up the extra shards. And it looks like Kale's not having too much of a problem. I want to actually save the energy so I can start doing the spider tournament when it drops, but might also forget. Let's just run it a bit more. Um, so I pulled something really neat on my main account. I mean, there's the shard video I posted. Chances are most of you watching this already saw it, but I pulled something really, really great. I was just floored by what I pulled. That's all I'll say about that, because now we got to get to the task at hand. So here's another thing that I've been working on. So I tried to follow some of the other uh, advice online about how to pursue this by myself to try to get my own referrals so that I could get Djamarsa going. And I'll also say I've done it before, and I still had a lot of trouble. For some strange reason, I was able to do it exactly once this time, and then never again. So I have a new computer to set up. I can try again on the new computer, but hey, if anybody's following along and you're thinking about starting another account anyway, or you're new and you're thinking about starting, I have an install link in the description. If you follow it, we will both get cool stuff. I will manage to get Jamarsa. Um, but what I'll say at this point about the pursuit of Jamarsa, really, in any way, whether you're suckering your friends into playing, like eh, poor Mr. Burrito Slayer was describing, um, having been brought into this game by his big brother, who's now managed to kick the habit, and 5 years later, poor Mr. Burrito still has the habit. I'm sorry, Mr. Burrito. You have my condolences. I have the same addiction. But anyway, we got this void shard. We've got 7 ancients, and we have 2 sacreds. And here's where we're at with the fragments. I've been I try to remember and get the Drexthar fragments, so I'm at 4. This is gonna be moving in at glacial speed. If I remember every single day, we should have Drexthar, I don't know, by the end of month 3. Um, But where's the, oh, I didn't claim any of them. That's why. That's why she's not even on the list. So referral program, here we go. I've got 30 fragments out of the 100 that I need. From one of you out there, I'm a real person. Seems legit. Um, anyway, it'd be nice to be able to get Djamarsa to complete the points that we need, but I think I can probably manage without it. Wow, 5-star soul for Zinogre Blademaster. That's pretty cool. We'll have to see what kind of hoops we need to jump through for that. On this account, I'm thinking we probably can't get the souls, but you know what? That's okay. This is a fresh account, and honestly, my advice, and it's not an event, is it? It's a tournament. My advice for the best start is honestly not to do what I've been doing this time. Don't get lured into one of these series of events. They've completely derailed my progression. Um, but if we take a look, so here's where we're at. I think I have 16 something. If this will load anytime today, that's a thing that I hope the new computer is also going to help fix. Um, so we got 1662. We also have champ training to do, so I can basically go to the I can go to the tavern, and I have to do this anyway because we are seriously full on stuff. I also got a lot of brews from completing the campaign. You get a lot of nice little bonuses, including the shards. So those shards are a one-time thing, and I'm going to be pulling them for this event, but it means I don't get to pull them at any other time. And normally I'd say hold on to your sacreds until you can at least go for a 2x event. That's probably a better chance at a Lego. But I'm okay with just going for an epic. It'd be nice to save for a 10x on a particular epic we might want, but again, I think we just need to boot it and see what we get now. It's not a bad idea. So let's just clear some space. I'll take some brews, put them into her. I'm gonna eat 2 food champions. Let's eat these 2. And I'm just gonna keep it up with the 2s because I think we have a lot of them. We have an awful lot of them, and and what I like to do when leveling at the tavern is I like to take a look at the brew tally. Um, and if I have more force brews than everything else, then that's what I want to be completing first. We'll take the force brews and we'll put them into what do we have the least of? Spirit? I think it's spirit. So we just eat 2 spirits. Um, and yeah, we have the least spirit, but we seem to have the most spirit champions kind of here already. Also, there's a Saurus here. I'm wondering if I could use him to upgrade my Saurus. Mr. Burrito. Yeah, I talk about him a lot. I swear I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed with my co-creators, but he plans on building Saurus first. This is going to be his very first 6. Uh, and Mr. B, if you're watching, I disagree with you on your approach, but I didn't state that in the comments, and I kind of want you to just follow through with Saurus because for all I know, you could be right. Saurus is a very neat champion because if you look at his skills, it's AoE, AoE, just attacks all enemies, attacks all enemies. That's it. You crank up his damage. You could get an extra 25% damage just in his A1. That's really cool. Um, A2 is even more powerful, but basically it's the A1 that you're going to be stuck with most of the time. So you're going to want to make sure you hit the threshold. I believe that Mr. B knows what he's doing, but I don't think Saurus is anywhere near as useful as, say, Kale or whichever starter. As it happens, I now have every starter. I got Kale, I got Ethel, I got Elhain, and I got Galek. just as luck has it. It's kind of funny because there's so many rares in the game now. What are the odds that I'd get all of them? Ooh, and I got this dude. I got Abyssal, and I put him in a stun set. I have no idea if I'm gonna get around to building this guy, but this is one of the guys that I mentioned. I don't know if you were watching along the whole time and you remember I said there were like three different spirit um, champions that I wanted, and I got one of them in Master Butcher. I'm not sure where he is. Here he is. We got Master Butcher. So now we got Abyssal. All we're missing is Soulbond Boyer. But this guy, Abyssal, you can also attack all enemies using it. And honestly, with Abyssal, I think I haven't checked the modifiers, but I think Abyssal might actually be a better campaign farmer than Saurus, for instance. The problem with Saurus is he's an uncommon. It's very difficult to get him to the damage numbers that you're going to need, particularly with the early game gear. Whereas with Kale, he's already doing it with the gear he's got now, which isn't like the best gear in the end game, but it's really, really good for the open game. And Kale has much better modifiers, but he's also got a much better affinity matchup. Because if we have a look at, I mean, you should go to, say, Brutal. If we look at the affinity matchup, it's all spirit. And that means you get a big advantage if you're using a magic champion. And I'd say if you're going to be farming 12-3 or 9-3, as I've been doing, but I'm probably going to switch to 12-3 now to try to get duplicates of Diabolist just to make her faster. Uh, Lots and lots of spirit champions, except in wave 3. For some reason, there's two voids, but it's still the same thing. You get a big advantage by having the type advantage, having the right Pokemon type, as Mr. B likes to say. I'll stop talking about you, Mr. B. Now. I promise. So, how much space have we made? I need. All right, we got room to pull the big ones. So I'm going to pull the Void Shard right now. I'm going to ask RNGesus for. I'm not even. I mean, we got 2x, right? So we could pull an epic, and if we pull an epic, that'd be amazing. I guess the absolute queen that we could pull, maybe there's a king and a queen, would be Maneater, if a king, and if a queen, Demitha. Because if we pull either of those, we can start planning an Ultra Nightmare team. I'm not expecting to pull either of those. Honestly, I'm expecting to pull a rare. And if we pull a rare, I'm just hoping it's at least, say, something useful. Like Cold Heart would be the GOAT. But we could also hope for Kurzad Deepheart. He's pretty close to being the GOAT. We only have one Void champion now, and I don't even remember who it is. So what are we getting? It's a rare. And it's Chevalier. I don't even remember what Chevalier does. Let's have a quick look. So it attacks 2 enemies, has a 20% chance of placing an extra hit. So 2 or 3 hits, I can see that being useful against the Fire Knight. Has a 20% chance of repeating the attack, so 2 or 4 hits. Will ignore block damage and shield buffs. So again, I can see this guy as kind of having utility against the Fire Knight just because of his A1. Kind of like a discount version of Lordly Luminary, who in turn is not a particularly OP champion. Attacks one enemy, 50% chance of placing a stun. These attacks are based off defense. And I have been talking about making a defense-based team. I do have Hoskarol, after all. We got lucky and pulled Hoskarol. So we've got... What else have we got? He also places increased defense, albeit the weak sauce version. But still, this is better than nothing. And in fact, because this is on a 4-turn cooldown for 2 turns, I can even see him being the alternate for Hoskarol. So Hoskarol puts up the big version of decreased defense for 2 turns. When it drops off, you have this guy place it for the slack, period. So we could do that. I mean, I don't know if this guy would ever be seriously worth building. But here he is. I don't know of anybody else who's ever built him. The ratings that he's getting in game are decent, actually. So people that build him seem to be happy with him. And faction wars, who cares, right? So that's the void shard that we got. I'm going to pull the sacreds as well. I just want to see how close we are to the points we need. So here we go. I didn't ask RNGesus for anything, but it'll be at least an epic. So we've got Brood Lord. He's got a provoke on his A1 with 2 hits. He's got block debuffs. That is something we do need. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. Oh, but it only lasts 1 turn. Lame. Why doesn't it also last 2 turns? So I mean, this is all right. This is maybe a little bit better than Spirit Host. But that said, I mean, Spirit Host is going to be easier to build than this epic. So he attacks all enemies. He's got stun. And that's pretty neat. So it's a 40% chance of a stun. Chances increase to 75% if they're under decreased speed. I forget, does he have that somewhere in his kit? He does. Whenever this champion is attacked, or whenever allies under ally protection buff are attacked, 30% chance to place the decrease speed. So, and that can book up to 45. And this can happen an awful lot. So that's a lot of chances for that to proc and then stun enemies. This guy could actually be really good. Now that I look over his kit. The community does not agree. Where do they think he's not complete shit? Faction Wars? Iron Twins? Why Iron Twins? I guess it's because of the Ally Protect. Ally Protect can be pretty strong. So, was Broodlord a good pull? I don't know. Are we going to build him? Maybe. I don't know. So, we got 1 Sacred Shard left. We can make a prayer to RNGesus. RNGesus, please give me... who do we really, really need? I mean, because we can have lofty ideas about who the best endgame champions are, but honestly, we're not in the endgame. We want champions that are going to help us now. So, you know who's really good, though? I mean, on the subject of building a clan boss team, you also have champions that can bring you a lot of speed, like Seeker or Deacon. Of course, there's a code for Deacon, but we didn't have that code. Anyway, let's just pull the Sacred Shard. Blah 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 blah. Let's see what we get. It's an epic. It's a tour. And he's another one that I don't use him a lot, but I was talking about building a barbarian faction so that we at least have one time a week where we can just go into the faction wars and beat the living piss out of the enemies and get like really, really powerful stuff. 2 times at random with a provoke. Books up to a 70% chance, 75, I'm sorry. Can even make it 80 with the right mastery. This is a 50% when booked, up to a 55. And because you can get counterattack on him, you can actually get a lot of utility out of that. He can even be turned into a, hang on, Kalia. Oh, we don't have Kalia, we have Talia. Talia is the bikini-clad blonde from the Barbarians. We have Talia. That's too bad that you can't like get bonuses for having like a very close match in name. But no, a tour wants to be with Talia, which is this one. So we do not have her. We have Talia from Sacred Order. I feel like we're also kind of getting the wrong ones because Talia wants to be with Fenax. This guy, this is who I should have been asking RNGesus for. But of course, you know, I'm a non-superstitious adult. I know you don't seriously get what you call, but we do have 7 more of these, so we could pull them. The name of the game basically at this point is just to manage to complete champion training. As I said, you know what? You know what? You know what? For the sake of clan boss, oh, and we should look at the clan boss, but for the sake of clan boss, I just clicked on him. Outlaw Monk, I want to go ahead and build him. Because if we take a look at the damage, this is probably the best my damage is ever going to look. So I managed to hit hard. I even had the BTPJ account come in to babysit the clan and kind of knock down most of hard. I can't believe I did 100 million. Normally I can't score anywhere near that. This is one of the best things I've ever done with the BTPJ account, actually. I got the requirement. This is the one key that I was looking for. And every now and again I score a nice little one key. So I can afford to spare keys on other things. Uh, so here's the damage numbers for Mini Gavin. I got 13.5 million, which gets us the top chest. So we're going to get 2 Guardian chests, and we're going to see if we get something good. We might even get another Void Shard. Hey, it's possible. Hey, shut up, it's possible. I know it's not likely, but it's possible. We could also get books as well. So it'd be nice to be regularly hitting hard until we can manage to survive at Brutal. Brutal's going to be a heck of a jump, though. Brutal is where the rewards start to get really good, I'd say. Uh, but you really want to hit Nightmare and above. Because Nightmare, that's when you get to the top chest, that's when you can get a Sacred. That's when you can get a Lego book. And that's what you really want. You can't get those from Brutal, not even from the top level. You're still just getting 3 random rewards from this. But it could be a Void Shard. I do see them regularly dropping from Brutal on my main account. Hard, I also hit hard on my main account because my main account can one key all 4 of them with the same team. It's an awesome team. If you guys are keen to see that team, let me know in the comments. If you happen to be at this exact point in the video and you're like, oh, I really would like to see that team. It is a one key, unkillable team. It is completely affinity friendly. It uses a rare as one of the pivotal champions, and I've talked about her before as well. Um, so of that 13.5 million, Kale did probably about 13 million of it. He's definitely the one doing the vast majority of the damage right now because he's the only 6. And as you can see, I got really lucky yesterday. It was Spirit Affinity. That doesn't happen every day. So on any other affinity, it's going to be rough, particularly Force. But the the clan boss team that I've got on my main account, I've probably mentioned her before. Oh, in fact, I do have her on this account. I'm just not sure when I'm going to get around to building her. But it is Eris in all her majesty. She's got a great kit, really for anywhere in the game. I'm not going to try to suggest she's an OP champion and that everyone should build her immediately, but putting up increased speed for 2/3 of the fight is super duper good. I also managed to get really lucky while soloing campaign with Kale. In fact, we got the perfect partner for her. Where is, oh, she's not here because she went straight to the inbox because I was actually full. So it's Valerie. So we'll just collect Valerie and this other champion. And let's take a look. So Valerie can extend buffs. So if you pair Eris with Valerie, you basically get increased speed the whole time in whatever team they're in. You get increased speed the whole time. She's got increased attack as well, so that can help. Um, you have some shields, some heals. She also counterattacks anytime another champion gets hit. It's kind of nuts how good it is. And you of course have the mini cleanse as well. So there's a lot going on here. Grants an extra turn if the target's killed. So if you make her hit hard enough, or you have her hitting at the right time, it could be a super duper powerful combo. And they are both campaign farmable. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking with a best start guide like this, one of the things to do is to be even more vigilant when it comes to going for the sure thing. We go back to the notes. Oh, these are in disarray now. I meant to put these in a better order, but basically, like the Bolo section, there are so many. There's so many champions that are required. Like all of these are required for fusions anyway. You need Valerie for fusion. You need Eris for fusion. You need Diabolist, War Maiden, Spirit Host, and many others. I think I also got lucky and pulled yet another really good dude. Where are you, Baldy Undead Knight guy? Or did I pull him? Yeah, there he is. It's Executioner. Executioner's another just really, really powerful rare and also campaign farmable. So the game, you can't complain the game doesn't give you the champions you need. In fact, I might argue conversely. You could complain that when the game gives you epics and legendaries in some cases, that they're outshone by some of these rares, and you're like, come on, guys, why? Like Hoskarol, for example. Why is Hoskarol? Why is this move on a 4-turn cooldown when booked? It should be 3. There are other champions who are rares who can put up increased defense. I mean, I use the plural. There's one that I know of, but I think there might be a second one in the void category, but she's not even void. I also don't have her, so I shouldn't look for her there. She's a barbarian. There are so many good barbarians. Um, so it's the blonde version of War Maiden. It's marked. She's got the increased defense, and it's a 3-turn cooldown if you fully book her. She's easier to build because you can use rare books. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I guess my point is there are a lot of rares that you can collect to get the job done that you want to get done. That's what it is. So let's get as close as I can to being 250 points away. I'm gonna try to go after Djamarsa. If any of you want to help me out and start a new game just because you're feeling it, only do that if you're already feeling it, right? Like if you're feeling it, you're like, yeah, I want to start a new game too. But I also have half a mind to not bother with Djamarsa, and here's why. Djamarsa is just she's a pain to get, right? All the stuff, the hoops you have to jump through to get her, it doesn't feel like I'm playing the game. It's extra gamular activities, and I don't want to do that. And looking at these numbers now, like we are seriously so close. I mean, we don't even have to pull the ancient shards, but maybe we will. Maybe we'll just pull them to make life a little simpler. This is uh this is bad enough, but we're at what do we need? 288. We need 288 points. It'd be nice to pull them all at once, but I'm wearing my lucky hat. I'm feeling lucky today. Let's see what we get. Oh man, we're at 99. Okay. All right, all right, all right. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I would kind of like to see just what kind of mischief Outlaw Monk can get up to if we build him. If I don't like him, I can always just turn him into a chicken. And in fact, the plan is to eventually turn him into a chicken, but we might as well build him. So let's get rid of these two and maybe get him to 4 stars. We have a chicken. Let's just eat the chicken. I don't want to be too willy-nilly when it comes to which rares we eat. I might even want to make some others. Let's just make another couple of chickens, just so I don't feel like I've done a whoopsie. So we'll take the Incubus. We'll make him a 3-star. This is why I love having brews around. It was nice to get this huge chunk of brews during the campaign runs. So we'll eat these guys. We'll go with another red. like Skelag. And you can kind of see, like, is this fun? Is this a fun part of the game? I can't tell. This is not necessarily the most fun part of the game. I can't imagine that this is terribly fun to watch either. So I do apologize for that. I am trying to keep this as entertaining as possible and go towards the fun parts of the game. So we'll max her out. We'll again grab. I'd like to grab some greens. I mean, the obvious ones are these ones. I don't know why I'm saving them. Anybody else have like a favorite food champ where you just like to see the same champ stacked in a row? I do. I don't know. So let's go to Outlaw Monk. Oh yeah, that's right. We have a chicken. So we have a chicken. We can eat these two other chicken people. So we get them to 4, and we could even put some more levels into them. I could even go for the 5, honestly, but let's see. We'll put 10 brews in him. Get him to level 30. Upgrade skills. I wouldn't use any books, but basically, if we see duplicates of the Outlaw Monk, and really the main one I want to get is just this to reduce the cooldown so we can put these 2 poisons out, but he puts out a lot of poisons. An awful lot of them. Then we need to do the gear. It probably would behoove me to wait, though, because there is an artifact enhancement event coming. Never mind, it's here. So we once again, please tell me it's only 2,000 points again. Oh no, it's 3,000. Was it 3,000 last time? 3,000's a lot. Thanks for nothing, Plarium. Jeez, 3,000, that's going to be harder to reach. I feel demoralized and discouraged already just looking at that. But we do have 3 days. I got 2 million silver so far. We will try to be conservative with the silver and make it work. We do have 447 mystery shards. So honestly, even if I can't manage to get Djamarsa, and even if I don't pull these ancient shards, we could probably just make it. But let's pull the ancient shards. Let's just do it. I'm wearing my lucky hat. I'm feeling lucky. RNGesus, please give us something decent out of these 7. I'm not going to be greedy. And in fact, we'll pull them one at a time until we get something good. So here's a rare. It's Medicus. Here's another rare. It's Tragor. I'm a little underwhelmed so far. We're also only getting 10 points a pop, so this is less than ideal. Hospitaler. Valerie. Campaign farmable. I mean, she's a good champion and all, so... I don't know, there's another Hospitaler. We got 2 left. Come on, give us like 1 epic at least, so we get just a couple extra points. And it's discount Cold Heart. And who else we got? Nothing but rares struck out. Oh, and it's another campaign farmable one, and not even the one that you want. So, well, that's another 70 points, right? So we're basically out by... What are we out by again? I mean, maybe I should be keeping notes, but honestly, I'm okay with checking back here. The Champion Chase Tournament, we need to reach 2,500. We are at, I want to say 23 something. So I can do it with Ancients, but doing it with Ancients will suck. I'd rather just do it by going after Djamarsa, but I am confident that we can make it. It can be done. So in the meantime, let's go to the clan menu. Let's check in. How are we doing for time today? We're 34 minutes, and you know what? Since the polls are over, I'm taking out that. Although we could still pull some other shards. because there's actually not room. And this is the other kind of stressful thing about having to pull shards while doing the champ training. If we look at the events actually, how well have we done in champ training? Because we're already pretty close. We're at 57, 59. So yeah, we're almost there. Very, very close. So if we can get those other 10 fragments, that will make me feel better. I will feel a little more relieved. I will feel a little less frazzled. I'll feel like we've gone over another one of the hurdles. We could let's do Saurus. Um, he's probably going to end up being food anyway, but we can grab 1, 2, 3. You guys are chickens. Saurus, I don't know if I'm going to build him yet, but that gets us a couple extra points. I want to find another red. I want to basically just keep these balanced. Although, you know what? I've been going too hard on red. Now red is the one we have the least of. So we could probably switch gears. So these are the reds. Maybe I'll just eat some reds then. And we'll upgrade, say, blue. We could actually use regular... Hey, here, let's do it this way. I get... Oh, 91. Come on. Okay. So we'll upgrade, say, her. We'll put 5 brews into her. And we will have her eat, say, 2 of the reds. Then we can pull another sheet of 10. And it would basically be rinse repeat with this, so you can kind of see why I don't want to do a whole video of this, and you guys probably don't want to watch a whole video of that, because you can seriously fill an hour by doing stuff like that. So it's going to be do or die for these events, and we'll get there by tomorrow. For now, do I have enough that I could eat right now with Redeemer? Yes. So do it. We now have a 4-star Redeemer. I think that's probably 50 points. So we probably have enough now. Champion training event. Yeah, it looks like we do. So there we go. We got another 10. Let's check the tallies then. This is pretty exciting. So we got 75. So go down to the notes. Make sure that's up to date. They're over here. So 75. Champion training event is done. Champion chase tournament. We're close. So we gotta do this is do or die. We gotta do this now. I think I'm even gonna put the little exclamation here. This is we don't get this done today. That's it. We're screwed. We can't get Zinogre. And I really, really want Zinogre on this account. I mean, at this point, I think it was probably a mistake to try to go after Zinogre. Is it going to be a mistake to grab that chest? Probably. It's probably going to be energy. Yeah, it's definitely energy. Well, you know what? No problem. No problem. Let's, yeah, you know what? The spider dungeon is probably not even available yet. Let's just go ahead and queue up yet another battle. So we can start regenerating energy. We'll do the clan boss fight. How are we doing on time? We're at 38 minutes in. So that's how much we've been playing today. I think I'm making kind of a mockery of my own rule, of course, because I mean, I said 1 hour per day max, and like you're seeing me do an hour per day, but you know because I'm telling you that during the downtime, I'm gonna go to the tavern and I'm gonna level a bunch of champions just so I can chew through the food and get the other get the other. How many points are we missing again? Like 200 and something. The low battery alarm on my fire alarm has started beeping, and it's actually kind of the middle of the night. My girlfriend's probably trying to sleep. I'm hoping that isn't waking her up. I'm hoping that isn't so loud that it's interrupting the video. I do apologize for that. I'll fix that after the video. Sometimes I want to just smash that thing to bits with one of my old Cali sticks. Um, anyway, uh, where was I? Well, yeah. So acquiring champions, it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of bullshit. The whole the whole process. I I don't know. Um, but we're within 250. We're what? Maybe 220 points away. So basically, today I'm going to figure this out. It's going to be very simple because it's going to come down to one of two things. Either I'm going to figure out a way to get Djamarsa, and again, you guys, please help me out if you can, because that might solve the problem for me. If I come back and I just see that two of the referrals are gone because you guys were just like, hey, you know what? I'd start over. Then that solves the problem for me. But aside from that, I'll figure something out. By the end of today, I could just do the really sucky thing of pulling mystery shards until I get there. Because that is part of why it pays to save those. When I first started this game, I was in the mentality that basically anytime I had any shards at all, I had to pull them. So I'd boot it to the portal. And I'd see numbers like, oh, I've got 40 mystery shards. I got to pull them all to see what I get. But I mean, that's silly. At a certain point, you're full. You need to keep creating expanded storage, but you don't necessarily want to do that either. Uh, so let's do the clan boss. Do we have our chest? Because it'd be nice to see what we got. So is this seriously the only one I did? I guess I didn't even do easy or normal yesterday. All right, so here's what we get from hard. RNGesus, please be good to us. So we have a 4-star legendary immortal shield um, with kind of underwhelming stats and some bruise and silver. Man, man, RNGesus, RNGesus. This did not feel worth it. Are we going to go back in again? Maybe. How about we just go after normal? So we got 3.8 million. Remind me, is that oh, that's a one key. Nice. So I don't have to come back. So that was a really good use of a single key. And then we could go after hard. We could also wait and see if we get lucky on affinity. If it changes, I can come in with BTPJ and instantly knock it down to below 50. I don't know what that does to the rest of the clan though, honestly. Any clanmates watching, let me know if there's an affinity that's particularly hard for you guys. Um, because it might actually be better for the clan if I kind of leave it on void. There are a lot of people out there that have teams that kind of break against the wrong affinity. Sometimes that affinity is spirit. So any fellow clanners out there watching, let me know. And you know what? You know what? You know what? Let's just use the other key on easy. This way I just get some easy chests. It's also kind of satisfying to see the big numbers that I can pop out of here now. So we got 6.16 million. Clan boss is looking pretty dismal on easy. But pretty soon I'm probably not even going to be including easy in my daily rounds. But that's really too bad that we got such lugubrious rewards. Such feeling such trepidation here. We could have at least had fives. Anyway, that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? Also, I mean, I was talking about this. I got one comment saying save the gems if you can, and really I would like to save the gems, but there's always the option of coming is it's not the missions, Gavin, it's the shop. There's always the option of going to the gem shop and there's the big shard pack for 900. It even gives you all the silver that you need to pull them. So it's tempting. I'm not going to do it this time. I might even just start trying to hoard these gems now. Following the conclusion of the event, I am gonna complete the mine. That's the plan, I guess. That's basically all I have to cover. I mean, there's the dailies, right? It's good to stay on top of the dailies. Looks like we got almost everything already. Like artifact enhancement, we're definitely gonna have to do a lot of that. A lot of it. So like if I want to get started on Outlaw Monk, probably we want um well we want accuracy, right? So what has accuracy on it? So we have accuracy chests. That's pretty good. I mean, that's probably the way to go. We've also got accuracy speed gear. I could just roll this up to 8 and see what happens. We get any speed on it? Uh, but that would have been nice. So basically, we got the dailies done. How much time we got left? I want to see if we got time for Faction Wars. We're 45 minutes in. Okay. Let's take a look at Faction Wars and see what kind of mischief we can get up to. And you know what? Before even that, Guardian Ring. Let's make sure we're getting the bonuses that we need. So for Dark Elves, I did get a couple of Spirit Hosts. Oh, these are duplicates. So why not? Let's use them to empower Kale. Kale now does 10% extra attack. Boy, do I look like a fool. This would have gotten us 10% extra attack for those clan boss fights we just did, but you know what? We did all right. Maxing this out would actually be really good for Kale. And if you started with whoever you started with, doesn't matter. If you started with Kale, Dark Elves. If you started with Elhain, High Elves. If you started with Athel, Sacred Order. I got 2 Templar, and I would actually like to build Templar at some point because he's solid. Barbarians, we got all the way to 10, just trying for War Maidens, and we got this guy instead. But now we do have War Maidens, so that's cool. We got a little extra speed on War Maiden, more attack, more accuracy, more everything. She's going to be amazing. Why am I forgetting a starter? It's Galek. Galek, I don't care about Galek. But if you happen to start with Galek, you happen to think Galek is awesome, then obviously, filling the Orc faction first is a worthy cause. I'd really like to fill Barbarians first at this point because at this point we definitely have the makings of a good Barbarian team. Sylvan Watchers, I have a champion in Sylvan Watchers who can now kind of do this now. Oh, I have a rare now. I'm trying to remember what he even does. That's Rehab, right? And I say he. I don't even know if Rehab is a he or a she. But we might switch gears because I've been using her as my main. I obviously took a weapon away from her at some point. But what I like about her is she has an AoE. So you can use this to just quickly clear level 1, maybe level 2, maybe level 3 of the faction. But then we have Lone Blade Rehab. What has he got? Does he have any AoEs? He actually doesn't. He'd be a good token rare for the faction, though, so he'd be worth keeping regardless. But here's what I'm thinking. Let's go back to Branch Weaver. This is on a 4-turn cooldown. Could be booked to a 3-turn cooldown. I don't know if we happen to have any extra copies of her. We don't appear to. But I could just grab a weapon of any type. What would be really good? Probably something from Cruel, especially if it's got a little bit of speed on it. Do we have a Cruel weapon? Hey, look at that, we do. It's even got a little bit of crit rate on it. Let's equip it. Why not? We could even roll it up to 12. See what we get. So extra attack. We got the weekly thing. We could go into Faction Wars now. And let's see how good she is at just managing to... We'll even try level 2. She managed to get through level 1 last time, even though I stupidly didn't even build her right. I didn't ascend her all the way, so she didn't have her area of effect attack. So now it should be a lot faster. She might even be able to do level 2. Let's find out. So that's Daggerleaf. Yeah, that's not bad. So I could gear out these guys too, particularly the rare, because as I've said, I like to have a token rare in every single faction. I just finished filming an endgame faction wars series. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in me posting that. I haven't posted it yet. I'm not sure when to air it, but basically every single faction has a rare in it, with I think one exception. I think I didn't have a rare lizard man that I liked. All right, Branch Weaver. It's right down to the wire. Can you do it? She's under heal reduction now. That's not a great sign. I think she can do it. I think she's going to make it. So this is the power of Branch Weaver. And you know what? Let's target him just because he's a reviver. We know he is. He's our reviver right now. Our only reviver. Grinner. Come on, Branch Weaver. You could do it. Oh no. They increased the cooldowns. This is not good. That is not good. I'm sure she can do stage 1 though. But I'll do that later. And obviously, when it comes to the Dark Elf Crypt, like now we have a 6-star Kale. So Kale can really get up to some mischief here. I can try to put some sturdier champions in here just to make sure nobody goes down. I might even just start on not super, because here's what I want to do. I want to start getting 3 stars in as many of the areas as possible, right? So I'm going to do this cautiously and stop it if anything I don't like happens. Like I don't like that. We need to just have enough going on that nobody dies, but nah. Nah, we need a stronger we need a stronger lineup. One way of doing it is, of course, with a shield set. I could just build somebody to be kind of tanky in the faction, and I have one shield set that I kept. I think this is basically it. I actually have multiple pieces now, but this is HP percent, and this is the way to do it because it's all based off your shield. Your shield is based off your HP percent anyway. So we have an HP percent chest here. I have an HP percent boots, and not gauntlets, but basically we could take HP percent gauntlets from somewhere else and just take 2 other pieces. We'd have a good shield, and that'd make somebody beefy enough to protect any of the slower food champions before they get hit. I'd need to figure out who exactly I want that to be, though. So we'll go to the faction, Dark Elves. Right now, I mean, it'd probably be Spirit Host. That'd actually make sense. We could build her up, make her kind of tanky, put her in a shield set. That gives her extra utility. Could even be good for arena because you have her come in, and if she's in a shield set, she's kind of making everybody tougher. I want to just look in the index. This is also going to be elucidating, right? You want to look at the base stats. Like that's absolutely not Kale. That's Dark Kale. But you can look at, say, Kale. His base HP is 13.7, which is pretty bad. She's 12.7, which is even worse. And Spirit Host is like 15.3, which is not bad. I don't know if there are any rares that'd be better than that, come to think of it. There probably aren't. Painkeeper, maybe. Painkeeper Painkeeper would be the one. If we pulled her from a Void Shard, it would be Painkeeper. Outside of Void Shards, though, see, 1300 for Wanderer. Ooh, 16.5 for Hexweaver. That's very high. So if we happen to get Hexweaver, that's even better. Ordinator's neat. I love his bombs. I would love to get Ordinator and then build him one of these days just to have a bomber, even though he's just a rare bomber. Mystic Hand is also 16.5. It's a very cool makeup job, dude. And of course there's Judge. Judge has a very low HP, but Judge is just awesome at attacking. He's probably even better than Kale, honestly. He's really, really good. Um, in fact, here I'll say a little more about why I think Judge is maybe even better than Kale. You know how I go on about Shield Guard and how he can make himself faster because he's got this. Judge is the same thing. He fills his own turn meter with his critical hits, kind of like Shield Guard. Building a team with these two would be just nuts. Because Judge and Shield Guard, between the two of them, they're going to be boosting their turn meter a ton. This is a 3-turn cooldown, which is not actually as good as. It's kind of funny that Shield Guard might be even better than Judge. But Judge can also place all these debuffs as well. Like he's just got a nice, eclectic group of debuffs he can place. Plus, he's got a good aura. But anyway, I'm going on about a champion we don't have. So here's the plan. I'm not going to do it because we are running out of time. It's 55 minutes in. So I'm going to end the video here. But the plan then, I guess, put Spirit Host in Shield Gear. It's going to give her utility for the arena. It's going to give her utility for Faction Wars. She's even got this speed aura. That's handy. But that's all I got to say for now. I'm gonna say I'm keeping my eye on the prize. I want to get Zinogre. I want to get Djamarsa. We're 30% of the way there. So guys, you know, if you were thinking about starting over anyway, help a brother out. But if not, I'm probably going to figure out today if I can get another referral going. I'm fairly certain I could get another one going on a new computer. If not, I don't even know what in the heck is going on with these referral codes. It should not be this hard. It's ridiculous. So and there are people that are like legitimately giving referral codes to their friends and they're still not working. It's really bad. Plarium, you really whiffed it with this. It shouldn't be this hard. I assume, and part of the problem is probably it's probably Google as well, right? The Google accounts are also very unforgiving. They're like, you need to give us a unique phone number. Oh, F off. Google, Google, you're going down. It's just a matter of time. You're going down, Google. It's one of these days. But anyway, that's all I got to say for now. Take care of yourselves. See you on the next video.